All right. So we're stopping to talk about this card that my good buddy right here, Lewis TFB, Teferi's First Barber, designed for Wizards,
Wizards,
specifically for himself. They let him do it. They love him so much.
Wizards,
Fucking
thank
oh my
you so
god.
much. Thank you.
Ichormoon Gauntlet. 2 and a blue for an artifact. Planeswalkers you control have 0 proliferate and -12 take an extra turn after this one. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, choose a counter on target permanent. Put an additional counter of that kind on that permanent. What? This is ridiculous. For 3 mana,
Oh, yeah.
this is a problem.
I can't wait. Listen, Wizards,
This
thank
is
you
a
so much.
problem.
When I became his first barber, I didn't think that you'd give me ways to utilize his cards even better down the line. I appreciate you letting me get into Studio X, getting my time, um, and allowing me to live out my truest and realest dreams by being able to proliferate the hell out of the walkers I am already playing in one of my favorite decks ever. Um, Ramicon, Sky Rampart.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
let me just say, this card is absolutely nutty. Did we read the bottom part?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It
It's like,
this is this
oh
is
my
exactly
gosh.
so it's funny because when building that deck, the thing I always wished when building it was that it had a little bit of green, a splash of green, because I wanted a doubling season. And now they said, how about we give you a doubling season
With the payoff.
that
Oh
also
my
has a
gosh.
thing on it that makes your deck better, that gives you a win con, a true win con in your weird, actually, not a true win con. I have true win cons in there, but this is like this is set up so much earlier than some of my win cons in there. That deck plays so much control to kind of get to where it wants to be. And then this card is going to turn it into a faster deck where I'm like, let's get this and let's win right now.
This allows
Um,
you to counter whatever I'm doing. Or stop it stops me from stopping you while hoping you get to the end faster. This is
yeah,
insane.
yeah, it's
This
very
is
good.
insane.
Um,
If you play
Now
Planeswalkers, you have to have this card. You gotta
I want
splash
to
blue now.
say what is sick with this card are certain walkers are already at really high loyalty when they
Mm-hmm.
come in. So if you already have a certain amount of walkers out beforehand when you drop this card, you're basically going to be taking the extra turn and probably um somehow man, it gets nutty because while you're proliferating during those other turns, those other walkers are also going to be able to take extra turns eventually too. So
You're gonna take like 5 extra turns.
it's gonna be, oh my goodness. And like I was thinking about taking out Ralzeric, but now having this is like I'm gonna be proliferate Ralzeric extra turns. While those extra turns are happening, we're just gonna keep proliferating more and then either get to Ral's extra turns or just the extra turns off Ichormoon. It's just I don't know. I don't know if this card needed to happen, but
It did not.
I'm not gonna talk like I don't want anybody to be upset about this card. I need everybody to
Dude,
calm down if they're
what I
mad
just
about it.
realized,
I'll send you to
MH
the aisle.
MH2 came out like what, last year or 2 years ago at this
MH2
point.
came out 2 years. At this year will be 2 years.
So do you think, oh my gosh, Flame Blitz was made in preparation for this?
I'm not gonna acknowledge that card.
They knew it was coming. They
Tell
knew
that
it was
card to
coming.
shut up. That card's stupid.
I
guys,
just
everybody
realized
out
the
there,
timing on that.
um,
We
everybody
don't have
out
to talk
there,
about that card. I'm
if
just
you
want
ever
to.
in the world encounter this card called Flame Blitz, it doesn't exist actually. It's a fake card. Wizards didn't really mean to make it. And if you see it, you actually are supposed to flame blitz it with a lighter. You actually light it and chuck it. You flame blitz it, and um you get rid of it from your site. That's what I'm going to be doing in the future. I will make sure to be posting those videos on our site. And if you are instead not wanting me to burn them, I will send you a copy. But for me, you're supposed to flame blitz it. I'm sorry. Don't ever, if you
I don't
come
play
into
red, so
this
don't worry about
house,
it. I
if I
don't play
ever
red. Don't
invite
worry about
you,
it.
if I ever invite you to a space I own or am renting, whatever, and you play Flame Blitz, I will simply escort you out the door. I will show you the door. Don't you dare play Flame Blitz in this house. I will. No, it's not
Yeah, I think
happening.
the timing seems about right. The way that they design
Maybe
sets.
you know what, and that is how sometimes it is, right? Like
Hmm.
they're printing the hate that we need, but we don't realize until it's too late. Um,
Yeah, because Dihada and what was the other planeswalker in that set?
Dakin.
What's yeah, they weren't that strong. I didn't think that Flame Blitz needed to be in that set
Yeah,
for
right.
those two.
They didn't. Oh, and Grist. My bad.
Chris, still, I don't. He's stronger than those two, I think, but
What
I don't
else?
think. I think it was just those three.
Mm. Um, I wanted to talk about real quick the the Casmina Enigma Sage is kind of funky with this too. Or actually,
Was
maybe
that the
maybe
one from?
from Strixhaven. Actually, no, Casmina, I forgot that she actually only starts at 2. She makes some things pretty cool otherwise, but she only starts at 2. Kaya, Bane of the Dead, that's who I'm thinking of. Kaya, Bane of the Dead from War of the Spark, which is an expensive planeswalker, and you would have to be in like Esper Plus to work this out. But Amanatu is a thing, just saying.
Yes. Yeah.
Kaya, Bane of the Dead is starts at 7 loyalty for 6 mana. And I would think that if you're casting that Kaya by that time,
Ichormoon
you
is
probably
probably out.
you probably have a couple of planeswalkers up, so you probably can, and you have your commander who's 3 mana. So at minimum, you're gonna have like maybe 2 others and probably some other weird proliferate engine out by the time. Um, so then you cast this Kaya. I think you can get there like the turn you cast it. It's pretty, I don't know. I see it. Same thing with Kiora, Behemoth Beckoner. This one is also starting at 7.
Mm-hmm.
And this is at 3 mana. Oh my goodness. Oh man. The potential here is really, really gnarly. Um, like I said earlier,
Mm-hmm.
the Nissa that you can pay X into, um, I think that's very interesting because if you have the mana, you just say, okay, I'll just pay all this and I'm going to take
Yeah,
an extra
it's your
turn
turn. Yeah.
and let's see what happens, you know.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of mana for an extra turn.
That's the
But
Simic Nissa, right?
yeah, it's one of the Simic Nisses because there's, I think,
There's one
like
and one.
I believe there's 2 Nissa. Wait, actually, you're right. There's only one Simic Nissa. You are correct. Dang, and Steward of Elements is so sick. That's a really good one. But you would be actually paying 14 mana
Yeah,
to
at
get
14
there
mana, I don't know if you need an extra turn.
for 14 mana. I mean, I guess that's desperation. That's a
It is
desperation
a
extra
way
turn.
out.
Like,
It
oh
is a way
man.
out.
And that gets rid of your Nissa right away. That's You paid 14 mana to take an extra turn between two cards. Uh
Yes.
you so you kind of pay you have to pay 13. Otherwise, like it feels a little silly.
Yeah.
I, I mean, not 13, 15.
15.
Yeah, you gotta go up. All right. It's seeming a little sillier as certain cards are talked about. But I think for the most part,
Oh, but if you have doubling season out, you can do
it
it
becomes a
twice.
little a little silly. Like you
That might
proliferate
be,
and then
yeah.
you proliferate, do it again. Like
Yeah.
it's just double, like proliferate then is doubled up. Double, if you will.
Well, you wouldn't have to proliferate. You can take an extra turn and then take an extra turn.
Yeah. Right.
Mm. If you're not winning by then we have other things to talk about.
The Ral Zarek I was talking about, he ultimates at 7.
Mm.
So that's a very early extra turn that you could potentially be getting. You could potentially be getting 5 extra turns with Ral Zarek. And then there is a Teferi, a not great Teferi, which is rare, but because of this, I guess maybe it's actually still not the worst. There is Teferi Time Bender, who at 9 is take an extra turn after this one. And that one,
At
um,
9? I thought that one was 10.
no, that one's at 9.
Oh, huh.
It's at 9. And honestly, I used to play that one in Teferi Tribal. Um, and it actually was pretty good for that +2. That +2 is really good.
Mm-hmm.
The
Oh,
untap,
6 mana though.
it
Oh.
was listen,
Oh,
I'm
this is from
not
the Planeswalker deck.
yeah, it's a planeswalker deck. But I think of planeswalker deck commanders. I mean planeswalkers. This might be one of the best ones.
Who's your commander for the Teferi deck?
Pramicon. Pramicon's in
Mm.
there. Pramicon's the granddad of it all.
Hmm.
I would definitely yeah, I'm gonna find I don't know what comes out for this card, Ichormoon, but it's coming in. I gotta find space for it. There
Yeah, you have to. That's
cuts these days are getting harder and harder because cards are getting better and better, and it's ridiculous. Ugin is absolutely in there. Ugin's already at 7.
7. Yeah.
Thinking about getting to Ugin's 10 earlier is also backbreaking as shit. It basically is an extra turn because you're getting 7
Yeah.
new cards. Actually,
Uh,
it's basically giving you a fresh start to the game. Plus, it's oh
it's
my
7 life,
god,
7 cards, and 7 what?
and 7 free permanents from your hand. It's always so
Oh.
good. So like cards like
Oh.
Ugin become scarier in decks that play this
Oh
card.
my god.
Um the Urza Planeswalker, which I
And
don't think
what's
has a crazy his ultimate is creatures you control gain indestructible and destroy all non-land permanents. Oh, artifacts and planeswalkers you control gain indestructible until end of turn. Destroy all non-land permanents. Okay, so yeah, maybe
so
the new Urza is pretty sick with this because you can get to that 10 earlier. So I don't think you always have to think about getting to that extra
extra
turn.
turn?
With some
Yeah.
of this, it's just like if you can get to the ultimate sooner, some of these ultimates are just so backbreaking. How could I even skip my Lord and Savior Teferi Hero Dominaria? Uh, the friggin' ultimate on that is 8, and it comes in
Yeah.
at 4. If you have 4 other walkers out, while when it comes out, you can ultimate it same turn. That ultimate, you don't need Teferi to stay for that ultimate to. Oh my god, that ultimate is so backbreaking. It's
Yeah.
not fair.
But like you
It's
don't
not
even
fair.
need to have other planeswalkers out. All you need to do is like have protection in hand, counter spells for removal, and he will take
Yeah,
up.
yeah, that's true. Yeah,
Oh my god. This Ichor
and
man. This
yeah,
Ichor.
it's not right. Yeah, you really don't. You're right. You don't need to have a lot of stuff if you're already playing the deck that plays walkers. You know what
Mhm.
you're doing. I don't have to tell people if you're playing walkers in blue, you're probably playing some counter spells, some counter magic. It's fun.
Probably. Yeah.
It's fun. You
Even in
do it.
like even in like an artifact matters with like counters works.
Mhm.
Like I'm trying to think what even is that deck?
Yeah, I think this is really nutty with Master of Time because Teferi Master of Time, I mean, because
Yeah,
you're
take
doing
two
the
extra
proliferate
creatures.
thing. No, I'm talking about the
Oh,
also
on
doing the
every turn.
proliferate thing on every turn instead of doing the draw and discard, which most of the time you don't
Oh,
want to be doing with Teferi. So instead, you're literally getting a +1 for 0, and you don't have to get rid of anything. It's literally doing what you were already doing with Teferi without like having to filter through your deck if you don't
wow.
want to. Obviously, the +1 is still very good. But I think that's pretty powerful that you can just do that now on everybody's turn. Just keep going 0 0 0 0 0. I'm gonna get to 10 so quick when all the extra help when I get back to my turn as the master of time. Oh, I
Dude,
cannot wait.
that's a
This is not going to be fair. I think at this point
no.
we realize that if this card hits the table and you're playing
It's
against
gotta
me
go.
and I'm playing the Sky Rampart, it is over.
Yeah, that's a
I'm sorry, it is over. We're either taking extra turns through our walkers that already do, or we're taking extra turns through the card that
wow.
is being slammed on the table in hopefully full art foil, gorgeousness, alt art, Ichor art, whatever. I don't know. They have so many weird arts now. This one has at least like two different arts. I know I saw like an all black one,
Yeah, that's the
which
Icar one.
looks pretty nice. So I mess with that. Maybe I'm grabbing that. That deck has a lot of weird foils. So yeah, add to it. That deck. I need this card so bad. I need this card. I
Dude.
am absolutely plugging the hell out of this card. You know what? I'm rocking the wrong card behind me, actually. One second. Um
Man, dude. Now I'm more scared of Pramicon.
I was talking to a friend of mine who also has a very focused, high power walker list who's similar but in different colors. He has an Atraxa list. Shouts to Slick Judge. Um, but we were just gushing at the like this is just insanity. Judge, I will say Judge's deck is probably a little faster because you're in black and you get to do the good tutors.
Mhm.
But man, oh man, I'm actually more scared of what that deck's gonna look like, being able to play it so much earlier than I could. At
Mm.
least being able to reliably find it. Um, I can maybe get it out early, but I don't know
There's
how effective it would be.
so many artifact tuners in blue. I think
Yeah, there are blue, yeah.
you'll be able to get it no problem. It's just like you need to have the
And
walkers
it's
up.
only three, right?
Yeah.
So like I can play the 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 mages, the ones that
Trinket
search.
Mage?
Yeah, it's one of the ones, yeah. Is it trinket for 3?
Oh, I don't know.
Let's see the other art. Oh yeah, it's gorgeous. Poor Tamio, you
Yeah.
know. Let's say that. I mean, like, rest in peace. See you in the Middle East. But you know what? Um, Tamio, we miss you. We'll miss you, girl.